Hi guys. This is your assignment for this week. So we're going to talk about our virtual assignment for this week. So we're going to talk about bullying. So in this class, we've covered quite a few stuff, but with the situation with COVID, we have to kind of move forward a little bit from time to time and just do virtual lessons with this. So what I want you to do is follow along with your note sheet, fill in any blanks that are not on the line like we usually do. So you take a look at your note sheet, you're going to find a sentence, right? And you're going to fill in that blank to um, that's on the PowerPoint to complete that sentence. So fill in the blank to complete the sentence. Then you're going to press turn in the top right. So I just want to get that out of the way before we started. Okay. So this week's virtual lesson is going to be about bullying. What it is, we're going to talk about what you can do to help and why it's important to help. Okay. So when you when you do talk about this stuff, you need to think to yourself, and if you ever have a story to share with someone, it's good that you change the name of the person. So a lot of times in class, what people would do, they talk about a particular story, and then they would change the name of that person being bullied or the person bullying. So why is it important to discuss bullying? So when it discussing bullying, it's important to talk about it because it makes the environment less safe. So if people are bullying, it's going to cause a safety issue, and it makes people also be distracted from learning. So if you're constantly being harassed or bullied, then that is an issue and can take away from the educational experience of learning. So, first thing I talk about is when you bully, you show a lack of respect. So, showing respect for people means accepting their differences and treating them the way they like to be treated. So, the golden rule is oftentimes discussed as that. So, bullying is the opposite of that. So, a lot of times when people bully, they wouldn't actually want to be treated the same way that they're treating others. So, when you think about you know, interacting with people, it's important that you think about you want to treat others the way you want to be treated. So the gold rule. So what is bullying? So bullying is not a one-time thing. It's a repeated behavior over time. So that means it's a constant thing that someone's going through every single day, that they go to school or on their cell phone with cyberbullying. It's a repeated behavior over time. So it's not just a one time incident, right? So someone purposely shoved you and you've never had any previous interaction. So bullying is a repeated issue over time. So understanding the differences between a one time thing and a repeated thing. Also makes the victim feel powerless. So the victim, meaning the person being bullied. And also, bullying can come most often than not from your peers. Yes, adults can bully younger people as well. So understanding that bullying most often than not comes from your peers. When it comes with bullying, there is four main types. So the first one is physical bullying. So physical bullying is like pushing, shoving, kicking, any type of physical violence towards someone else. Okay, tripping, but it's a thing that happens over time. So someone could be pushing someone in the hallway or purposely bumping into someone in the hallway. That's physical bullying. Okay. The second one we'll talk about is emotional bullying. So, emotional bullying is your verbal name calling, you're humiliating somebody in public, you're intimidating them, such as you better not do that, otherwise, I'm going to kick your butt or something like that. So, verbal assault, swearing at them, calling them names, that is emotional bullying too. Okay. So, emotional social bullying it's pretty close, but social bullying is kind of like when you have a group of friends and you're excluding someone. So the old saying, you can't say you can't play. That was an old thing at the elementary level that when I taught there, that was a big thing at recess or gym. So social bullying involves spreading rumors about someone and purposely leaving them out of an activity or group. So you say someone wants to sit with you at a lunch table and you tell them, no, you're not welcome here. That would be a type of social bullying. And then lastly, as we go along here, we have what's called cyberbullying. So, cyberbullying is something that's been going on for 10, 15, 20 years, ever since the invention of the internet, right? So, cyberbullying is something where you have an app such as like Messenger or Snapchat, TikTok, whatever it may be, the flavor of the year or the month. It always seems like something new is coming out. But cyberbullying is through the app. It's also through the internet forums or anything like that. But it's something where it can be almost more damaging than the other three types because it's something that you can't escape from. So if you're experiencing bullying at school, when you go home, you don't have bullying. Emotional bullying, that can kind of follow you, yes, but social bullying is also at school or other groups where you get together. But cyberbullying is something where if you have a cell phone, it kind of stays with you 24/7. So that's the kind of danger with that. All right, so who is involving with bullying? So a lot of times in health, we deal with triangles, right? So with bullying, you have the bullying triangle. It's kind of a poor triangle here. First off, with the bullying triangle, you have what's called the bully. So the bully is someone that is causing the issues, causing the bullying, causing the pain and whatnot. That type of person is bullying the victim. Okay, the victim is the person being bullied. So it can be anyone. Anyone can be a target. We're going to talk about steps how to not be the victim, though. Okay. And then lastly, we have what's called the bystander. So the bystander is anyone that is by the person or knows about the bullying and knows about the bullying or is close by. So, a bystander can just be anyone that knows about the bullying. So when it comes to bullying, the most influential or important person is the bystander. The bystander is extremely important for stopping the bullying from happening, or in the worst case, it can ignore it or join in with the bullying, which can be a problem. So the bystander is the most important, okay? So a one-time incident versus bullying. So we talk about this. So with a one-time incident, I gave an example of, someone's upset at you, you get into a disagreement, there's some pushing or shoving. That's a one-time incident. But a bullying situation is a repeated thing. So at, let's say, second hour of the day, Joe bullies Mary by calling her names in that class, and is an everyday thing. Nothing's being done to stop it. So that is a bullying incident versus a one-time incident. So what can you do? So if you're being bullied, so the first thing that you can do is let someone know that it's happening. So let the teacher know, let an adult know, let your other peers know, and just understand that it's okay to ask for help. So the worst thing you can do is just let it fester, let it just happen every day without you doing anything, and then you have to go through that pain every single day. Also, being bullied is not your fault. A lot of times, the targets of bullying is very. It can be very random. It can just be for any reason at all. And also, let people know who is bullying you. So let let them know where you're being bullied, who is bullying you, and also, yes, here's a list of people that you can talk to if you are being bullied. So your parents, teachers, your advisor, principal, vice principal. Your advisor means like your guidance counselor. So a lot of times you need to know what's a tattle versus a report. So what's worth reporting? So, incidents where you feel threatened, or you witness someone being threatened, or when you know something is just wrong. It's important to trust your gut with that. So, report when you feel threatened, okay? When you witness someone being threatened physically, emotionally, or cyberbullying, or when you know just something is wrong. So, examples are physical actions, verbal threats, or you know some other students are in danger. And I'm sure plenty of you guys have student examples of when bullying was an issue. Okay. So, the numbers on bullying. So, just here's some simple statistics. So, a while ago, some stats were taken. 18% of students have felt that they have been bullied in school. I'm sure the number is much higher. 85% of students have witnessed bullying. So, what does that tell you? So, that means that the bystander, again, I'll talk about the bystander, the person that's witnessing the bullying, the bystander has the most power when it comes to bullying. Okay? So, they have the opportunity to stop that bullying from happening. Okay? And they witness it more than the victims talk about it. So a lot of times, if the bullies or someone who's a bystander could think about if they were being bullied, so how would you feel if you're being bullied? Some of you already have been bullied before. Then also think about what would you do? We talked about talking to a trusted adult, talking to a trusted friend. So think about those situations when it comes to bullying. Okay. So it takes courage to be a good citizen. So in this comic here, we have three people who the bully says, "Here comes Linda and her geeky loser jeans and geeky runners. That's all she ever wears. Do you think she ever washes them?" The next slide over here says, "Hey freak, do you ever do your clothes ever get cleaned?" And the person joins in and says, "Did you find them in a dump?" Then the other person says, "You guys suck. If that's the only way you know how to get your kicks, then count me out." So instead of being a bystander and saying nothing, he joined in and said, or came to the defense of the victim, which is Linda, said that he didn't want to be a part of the bullying situation. He doesn't want to be a part of that friend group anymore. So if they're bullying, he does not want to be a part of it. So a lot of times, the bystander can have the most power between these two. So everyone can help out. So do your thing. So don't join in and refuse to watch. Say something. Say, "Hey, don't do that to him." Report bullying to an adult. Invite the person being bullied to your group. Be a friend to a person being bullied. Distract the bully so that he or she stops. So there's lots of different things that you can do. So here's now not to be a victim. So the first thing is bullies will go after people who appear weak, not just physically weak, but mentally weak. So you got to act and look confident. Keep your head up. Look at where you're going. Have some self confidence. Bullies repeat actions to those who they think they can. So if someone says something to you, it's important that you don't show them that it hurts. Because a lot of times when there's quote unquote blood in the water, for example, a shark will go find that blood, a bully will find that weakness. So if you don't show that you're sad or hurt, a lot of times, then they'll stop. So what you have to do though is if you do feel bullied is talk about your feelings to parents, friends, or other people that you trust. So don't hold it in. Here's some strategies. So ignore what they say. A lot of times it's easier said than done. Agree with what they say, a little confuse them. So a lot of times, if someone calls me an idiot, I'll disagree with them, even though I don't think I'm an idiot. I'll say, "Yeah, I am an idiot. I made a bad choice." Okay. So don't get offended when someone says that to you. Bullies don't get satisfaction if they get a negative reaction. So if you agree with them, it'll kind of throw them off. Also, is make a quick joke or a funny response. So if you trip over your feet and you fall down, you say, "Oh man, I'm so clumsy," and agree with it. Don't show that you're offended, then you won't get bullied. Also, change the subject as well. So try to change the subject from either the bystander can change the subject or the person being bullied can change the subject to get off that topic. Also, some other strategies: stay in a group, surround people you feel safe with, avoid hot spots, take a different path to class, go to the restroom a little earlier. So, a lot of times, the hot spots are the restrooms, the locker rooms where there are no cameras. So, maybe space out your bathroom timing. So, think about this. Have you ever laughed when a classmate made a mistake? You might want to think about redoing that. Have you ever made fun of people in a mean way? Have you ever joined in a group of people being teased, or did you gossip or spread rumors? Think about that. So, there's one more thing that I want to show. Actually, we are. Actually, I'm going to end it here. I did have a video. If you can see that link at the bottom, you can also take a look at that and whatnot too. Okay. So it's a very good video about a real life situation. So make sure your notes are filled out and that you're turning them in at the end.